Hi, this is Bree with Bree's Toolbox and Bipolar Bree 1. Thank you so much for having me on DroTV today. It's been a blast. I had a great time educating and sharing my story and my first time and experience. And I look forward to chatting soon and connecting with y'all.
Welcome back to My First Time, the show where our guests get to tell their story of the first time they got high on marijuana. I'm your host, Mike Freeman, and today I'd like to welcome our guest, Bree. Hi, Bree.
I'm Bree. And I'm excited to share with you my first time consuming marijuana.
Awesome. So before we do that, Bree, I want to tell everybody that they can go follow Bree on Instagram at Bipolar Bree 1 and Bree's Toolbox. And also breestoolbox.com will have all the links down below. So Bree, thanks for coming on the show today. If you can, tell our audience a little bit about yourself and where you're located.
I'm Bree. I am 31 years old. I am located in, I don't give my state out, but it is country and sunny. And I started to use cannabis due to really bad anxiety and trauma. And over the course of years, I healed my trauma, but my body decided to give out on me. So I've been navigating the world of terpenes and cannabis and just getting a better quality of life via natural medicine.
Excellent. Natural is the way to go. I think we can see that plant medicine has many specific uses. Bree, what you smoking on? What do you got there?
I am smoking on some cherry cheesecake number 33 from Hayes.
There you go.
So I have not done my research on it, but as far as I can tell, the effects are euphoric, pain relief, and hunger. So those are the three that I require.
Excellent. All right. You want to take a dab? I can wait a minute. It's all good.
Nope, we're good.
Okay. All right. Some people come on the show and they're like, can we smoke on this show? And I'm like, it's a show about the first time you got high. So I can't get stoned and conduct an interview properly, so I don't. But by all means, if our guests want to partake, it's encouraged. So don't let me slow you or hold you down. But I will ask about the first time you got high, Bree.
Okay. I did not start smoking until I think maybe I was 19 years old. I was in my own house and let me think, hold on. I smoked dabs for my first time. We'll start with that one.
Okay.
I decided to go to my pool with a bunch of friends where I live. And we were all just hanging out, smoking dabs. I've never touched a concentrate in my life. We live in a kind of a country town, so you can kind of like bicycle to like this community area where we all met. And I'll never forget, it was a Puffco Peak we smoked out of. And I was like, you guys, I got this. Like, I can smoke, like I smoked flower. I got this. Okay. Well, I took my first dab and I was good for the first like 20 minutes. We were talking. And I just kept dabbing. And everyone's like, okay, this is not gonna end well for you. And I'm like, you guys, I'm down the street from my house. Like, well, what could happen? I rode my bike. I'm not driving. Well, I thought when you're younger, you learn how to ride a bike, that skill never goes away. Well, I forgot how to ride my bike completely. Okay. Just did not remember. And I'll never forget this. I had to call my mother and explained to her why I could not ride my bike home from the community pool area that was only like 2 miles, 3 miles down the road in our neighborhood. And I think I told her like this really big lie about having a flat tire on my bike. Still could not walk. I was so high to my house. I had to have her come and get me, and she just looks at me and just drives home and just goes, okay. And just, she was like, but yeah, that was my first time taking dabs. And then flower.
So hold on a second. Did your mom know you were stoned?
It was never really discussed kind of actually until last week. We like,
Okay.
I just start like, I throw random things at her. I'm like, do you remember this time where you had to come get me at the pool and I told you I had a flat tire? She's like, yeah. I was like, well, I actually forgot how to ride my bike due to dabs. And she was like, oh, why didn't I notice that? And I'm like, that was on you, and I got away with a lot of stuff when I was younger.
But she still didn't bring you home. So what did she just?
She brought me home.
She did. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, she had to come get me, put the bike in the back of the truck, and drive me home.
So she was just confused as to why you couldn't. Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah. She had no idea at the time. Like, she was like, why don't you know how to ride your bike? Like, we taught you. Like, you don't drop that skill. And I'm like, maybe some people do. Maybe some people do. Okay, so, right. Yeah, you drop skills sometimes when you smoke dabs. I've learned that.
Awesome. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought mom took one look at you and was like, nope, you're going to figure this out on your own. It's only a bike. Okay. Cool. Well, good. Good for mom.
Yes. Mom was a rescue bear. Yeah.
Excellent. Awesome. So flower, first time you consumed flower.
I was in high school time, like senior year. I had one of my best friends over. We were Skyping at the time. Okay. And we were just smoking in my bathroom, hotboxing it. Didn't know she was home. And we hear kind of like, it's a sliding door. You know how you hear that rattle? And we're like, is that the dog? Or is that like someone on the side of the door? Like, oh crap, is that mom? Oh my God. And we like kind of listened, and I was like, her friend, like, shh, don't say anything. I'm going to open the door slowly. And all of a sudden, I open the door, and my mom is right on the other side. In her hand, she is holding, I think it was like Lysol, like to make the bathroom and like upstairs area smell good. And just like a candle of something, like, and she was like, if you're gonna smoke, at least open the windows and spray this, and just walks out. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, it wasn't,
Did you get high?
Yes.
Okay.
When I first started smoking, I didn't like the way it felt. I didn't understand it. I think I had too much control. I needed to always be in control. And when I smoked, it didn't allow me to be in control. But as I got sicker, I had to learn about terpenes and the cannabinoid system and how to target each receptor for the response my body needs. And through this, I've been able to navigate it to where I don't have nightmares. I've eliminated a lot of trauma. And I don't see myself ever stopping. Okay. Unless, they magically cure MS and there's, some magic pill I can take.
Right. So you medicate for MS. We wanted to talk about plant medicine, mental health. That's basically what you use cannabis for. Can you talk about, I know you just mentioned what it's done for you. Can you talk about some of the other things it's like helped you with and like your advocacy for this plant?
What was the last thing you said?
let's talk about your advocacy for this plant.
Okay. I truly think it just needs to be, let's just talk about declassification. Let us have the plant. Stop labeling it as a narcotic. Stop putting it in the same schedule. As someone who almost had to take real medication to manage something, there's no comparison. They have to reschedule this medicine. It has to be rescheduled, otherwise there won't be research on it.
Right.
Because those aren't viewed as pharmaceutical remedies. And I wouldn't choose doctors to be on my team unless they're for plant medicine. Because there's so much damage that goes along with autoimmune diseases, medications, and I'm on my third round of another autoimmune medication that my body rejected. My body has never rejected cannabis. So with that being said, it is doctors and whoever, let's see. There just needs to be more open research on it and of what it can do, because there's still such a stigma around that. And then with that, the mental health stigma. And you put those two together, it's difficult to break someone of like, hey, this is medicine versus how it used to be, because we can study the receptors. If you can't tell me it's not medicine when my body literally has receptors that are saying, hi, you could use me over here, when I don't have a receptor for aspirin.
Right.
We just don't have those receptors. So that's just the big thing, that with my trying to navigate my illness, I try to stay as close to plants as I can. Because I don't know, everything else scares me.
Yeah. Now, Bree, when were you diagnosed with MS?
2000 confirmedly in 2020.
Okay. So has it just been the last 2-3 years that you've used cannabis as a way to medicate, or did you always know there was like something going on before and cannabis was a way to help deal with symptoms?
I knew my body, something was not right. I woke up one day, and the whole right side of my body, I could not move it. It lasted 7 hours. And after that, I had excruciating pain from my head down. My sight was starting to get weird. I started falling over, just weird things that were out of my norm. And I'm like, you know what? I need to see a neurologist. Like, this is not okay. This is not normal. And they tried to tell me it was fibromyalgia. I said, okay, well, does fibro do this and this? And they kept pushing that on me. And if I would have listened, this is kind of like don't listen to your doctors the first time. Like, it's okay to question and keep questioning because you know your body. They would have missed MS by 3 years. If I would have just been like, okay, whatever you say. But I was like, no, I don't think so. And I trust doctors, but I don't trust them at the same time.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, each one is kind of specialized in their own little world, so to say. And I mean, how many of your doctors asked you what your diet was like? How many of your doctors asked you, Bree, talk us through a normal day. What do you do? What do you consume?
My neurologist and rheumatology always do that.
Okay.
The other ones, they're just, hi, how you doing? Hi, good. You live? Yeah. Okay.
Prescribing pharmaceuticals to see how you react.
I try not. I really won't let them. I put up a fight. I just had I almost died last time. They put me on this medication, and third round in, boom, couldn't breathe. Okay, now I have an EpiPen. I don't want to risk that again. I've never had that with cannabis, never. So, there just needs to be more research on it, and the stigma of it being unsafe needs to be taken away. It needs to be bye-bye. Because there is no medication ever you can give for PTSD except cannabis. There's nothing. Therapies, there's no magic pill for trauma except cannabis.
Have you have any experience with psilocybin? Mushrooms, psilocybin.
Oh, no, I have not. Personally, I am, due to the extent of my trauma, I'm scared to do anything really mind altering. That's just me. I'm not against it. It would be awesome if I could trust my body enough to be like, oh, I'll be fine.
Sure.
But I don't. So I support research on it. I support everyone choosing how they want to medicate. But for me, I can't put it in my body, not yet. Not until we know.
Yeah, which goes back to what we're talking about here, research and the ability to deschedule so that your doctor, I mean, you are a walking study, right? You've been studying this yourself for how many years? So when you go to a doctor and you know more about this plant than they do, and even though it's not something you got a medical degree in, you clearly do know more than they do. Do they, and I'm sure you have like several different doctors and specialists maybe now do they ask questions? Are they inquisitive about
yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, more so rheumatology and neurology. They're more of like, okay, so what do we do? At least my doctors are. I know all aren't, some are not for it, but mine, they want to know quality of life. It comes down to, they just, how can we get you quality of life? How can we make it easier? And that's pretty much what they ask me every time I go in. How's it working? We see you've maintained weight. Obviously, you're smoking, so you've maintained weight. So they can kind of tell it's not like a big secret. They know my body requires it to function.
Okay. Now, were these the first doctors you came across, or did you kind of have to seek out these doctors?
2018 was when everything kind of started to fall apart. It took me 6 specialists to properly get a diagnosis, because it started off, and I'm not sure if you've heard what happened. Marijuana actually is the cause of my illness. It was tainted with chemicals.
Oh, wow.
We found out. Just came out this year. We found out. I was like, why? I felt poisoned. I couldn't move on one side. The MS showed up 2 years later.
Okay.
So that was the downfall. Like, I noticed something was not right with my body. And I just kept asking these doctors, why would my fingers do this? Why are my legs not moving when I want to step? Why is my speech slurred? Why can't I see out of my right eye only? Why is my hand shaking when my legs are fine? Why? I just kept questioning them, and they just kept running tests, and things started to show up. And
what do they think it was tainted with?
They're not sure. I got a gut infection, which led to paralysis of my gut.
Wow.
And they're not sure. They just chemicals, pesticides, anything you'd put in plants, anything you would use to save a crop. Infested what? I don't know. All I know is what I consumed. I got sick right away, and it continued for 3 months.
Wow.
Never used that source again. I was okay. I have all these issues now, but it just also goes to show we need to know where it comes from. There has to be small mom and pop shops. There has to be growers that are in it for the patients, not for the money. Their money will come in this industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. The money is going to be there. The patients are there.
Right.
Put more effort into safety and growing regulations and your facility so you don't have to make patients sick to keep them on the market. Type of thing.
Yeah. So what led you to start Bree's Toolbox, and when did you start Bree's Toolbox?
I believe I started Bree's Toolbox in 2021. It just started off as I was just kind of bored one day doing crafts, and I decided, because I couldn't grip the dab tools anymore. They're way too tiny. So I can't grip it. So I was just, bored, and I decided to decorate them in crystal. Awesome. And it adds a bigger grip to it. Let me place it down. It doesn't touch. Like, the dab's been sitting there this whole entire time we've been talking. And yeah, they're all available on my website. I hand make all of them.
Hey everybody, I want to quickly mention Food Forest Abundance. Food Forest Abundance is a great way to create your own self-sustaining food forest and naturally occurring ecosystem that's commonly found in nature, but designed specifically for you. Through multiple layers of trees, shrubs, herbs, vines, rhizomes, mushrooms, and perennial vegetables, you can become your own supply chain without the typical maintenance required of a garden. From small spaces to large areas, both urban and suburban, Food Forest Abundance wants us to get back to our roots in nature by engaging with our food production in a meaningful way. For more information, click on the link in the description below and start your journey today. Okay, let's get back to today's episode. Which goes back to descheduling this plant so that people who work in the cannabis industry can get mortgages, that they're not discriminated against.
Exactly. There's so many reasons to reschedule and research and declassify and just progress with it, because we need to. It's not bad. It's not dangerous. I see so many people lose their lives to actual substances, and marijuana's never killed anyone. If anything, it's killed the diseases that kill the person.
Sure.
So that, and people lose their job. Like, it's no. Reschedule it, make it a just, either braise it like alcohol, treat it like alcohol, or treat it
like broccoli. Like, I can go outside and put some broccoli seeds in the ground and grow some broccoli.
Something you have to be over 18 by.
So Bree, what's your preferred method of consumption as you light up the dab rig? Are you a concentrate girl? That's your. Okay.
But it also depends on what I'm trying to treat and what symptom I'm trying to mitigate. Because if I'm nauseous, concentrates will just A, make me more nauseous, or B, just won't do anything. So flower if I just don't feel good, but concentrates, yeah. What is your favorite way? I know this is an interview, but
no worries. I'm a flower guy. I prefer smoking joints, so that's my go-to. What about edibles? You consume edibles?
I do. But not often. I should probably consume more edibles.
Okay.
But I like them. I just don't, since my brain and body already don't connect as well as they should. Sometimes a body high, which usually is for edibles for me, it just messes with me a little bit more. So I try not to do edibles unless I'm going to be sleeping at night. Right for the nighttime for me. Daytime, no.
All right.
But yeah,
cheers.
I can dab all day long and be fine, but edibles, no.
All right, take that hit, because I know you want to. So I'm not going to hold you up any longer. And I
need
do
to get a little temperature gauge.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Bree, thanks for coming on the show today and sharing your story with us, as well as Bree's Toolbox. We're going to have all the links down below. So please let everybody know the best place that they can follow you. Where are you most active?
Bipolar Bree 1.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. Well, you were a great guest. We appreciate you and your time today. Make sure you go down and smash the like button for Bree. Leave a comment with what you consume and what kind of mental health cannabis has helped you through, and what we can do to get this descheduled. Because that's super important, and it needs to happen sooner than later. It's 2023
already. Yes.
Yeah.
Next year.
And if you like content like this, make sure you subscribe to DroTV, because that's how we get great guests like Bree and bring you awesome interviews like this one. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. To another episode on DroTV. If you want to support us here at the channel, you can check out our brand new cannabis line of apparel. We have all high from all 50 states. I'm high from Florida, but you can go and be high from whatever state you are in white or black, a tank top, a hoodie, women's, men's. We've got all sizes for you. We do a lot of stuff for free here for you. That's how we like to do it. So if you can show us any kind of support, please head over to our link tree, click on our Etsy shop, and go get yourself some sweet gear. When you get it, tag us, post it. We want to see where you're high from, all 50 states as well as a few countries, because we are worldwide, baby. Peace and love. Thank you.